Hello, 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 beautiful
Hi.
people. We are back. Well, I'm back. I'm sorry. If you're sick of me, I don't know what to tell you because I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. Anyway, so I'm super excited, as some of you may know or may not know. Today is the virtual launch of my book, baby, Warriors Paradigm,
Yes.
turning your brokenness into your beauty. And I love to have amazing, powerful, beautiful women around me that are powerhouses making game-changing moves in life. Because when you're surrounded by greatness, then you just have no other option to be great. Would you agree?
Yes.
So for those of you who have not heard of Warriors Paradigm, or like, what is she even talking about? What does that mean? Check out my fabulous book trailer. Doesn't it get you excited every time? I don't know. Is it just me? I don't know. So if you have not gotten your copy today and today only, you will be able to get a
Mm.
complimentary ebook copy at www. You're hilarious. Readytotransformnow.com. And I just want to look, I don't care. I don't care. I'm a show my baby all day. Look I don't care. So today we are here with the amazing and beautiful Vernae Taylor. How
Thank
are you
you.
today?
I am wonderful. How are you, lovely?
I'm well, thank you. So I have her today because she is like amazing. She does so many things. I'm just like, she's just a wealth of talent. Like, oh my goodness. Like she posted a video of her singing, and I was like, oh, okay. She's writing a book. Like, tell us a little bit about yourself, Renee.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for having me, Chanel. Welcome to everybody that is here. I am Vernae Taylor. I'm a performing artist, author, speaker, and mentor. And I'm reigning in from Jersey today. So shout out to all my people from Jersey on here. But yes, I have a lot of things that are cooking. So they're coming down the pipeline. So you got to tune in.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So for those who are with us, type in chat where you're coming in from so we can give you a lovely
Yes.
shout out. Thank you. Thank you, Cheldine, for joining us. I appreciate you. She's
Thank
actually on one of
you.
the projects that we're working on. I'm super
Yes.
excited. And Renee's on one of the projects too. So let me say, like I said, I like to be surrounded by powerful, amazing women and men too, because men are game changers too. I'm not taking it
Yes.
away from any men. We
Yes.
heart you too. But yes, 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 yes. So, Renee,
Yes.
how you feeling today?
Let's get into it. I am feeling wonderful. I am so grateful. I woke up with gratitude, honey. I woke up and did my rituals like I was supposed to. So I feel
Mhm,
grounded.
mhm.
Yes, grounded in my purpose and grounded in just love, just for everything that's going on. And just this love fest that we have with all the women and men that we've been joined with as authors and
Yes,
entrepreneurs. So I'm
yes.
excited.
So I'm putting her on a spot. I don't care because she said she's a performing artist, and we don't get to have a real live event, and so if I was having like a book launch live, I would have like performances and like a
Oh.
DJ and all this other stuff. So so what do you perform?
Well, I
Is it
am a
a-
singer. I've always been a
Oh,
singer. I've been performing since I was 5 years old with my brother. Shout out to my brother ZF Taylor of I Can.
yeah.
And I went into musical theater after college. Shout out to Rutgers University, New Brunswick. And yes, so that's my first love. Music has always been my first love. So that's what I do.
So are you going to give us a tease or not?
Yes, I guess I'll give you a little snippet, just a taste.
You gotta be prepared with that, because whatever. If I know you do something, I'm putting you on the spot. Just letting you know. Just letting you know.
Just a taste, okay? For those that know
yeah.
the Lord, yes, that those are gonna praise Him into His gates with thanksgiving and praise. So we're gonna do that this morning. This is the song that got me through and got me over as a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
There is no pain Jesus can feel. There is no hurt that He cannot heal. For there's work, for the battle is not yours.
Yes. I want more. You're like, no, don't stop. That's what I was talking about. Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So whenever you perform and anything else I can come, that's just saying I'll be the rest person in the audience. Like, yes.
Listen, I will tell you, before the pandemic hit, I was a part of the Balance of Love, which was the first gospel play stage production featured in Atlantic City casinos. So I was supposed to be going back there. We were going to go back to Hard Rock. We were going to go to Claridge. Of course, that got put on the back burner, of course, though, because, we're social distancing. And I don't know what theater is going to look like. We don't know what film and stage production is going to look like. But I'm just grateful to be in another season of writing and authorship. And that's all that matters.
Yes. So I think we have something in common in the sense of, which is actually tied to Warrior's Paradigm, where we talk about lost love. And when I talk about lost love, I mean in the sense of relationships, whether you had a partner that you were with and you guys broke up, or whether you had a partner that you were with and they passed away, whether you had a friend that you were like best friends with, or a friend that you were super cool with and they are no longer here, or the relationship ended, right? Right, or whether you had a family member or that was super close to you, or a family member in general, because a loss is a loss as well. So I talk about that in the Lost Love chapter, because it really impacts us when we lose somebody. And I lost my uncle and my brother, my uncle, sorry, Andre, not you. You're still here. I apologize. I lost my uncle and my cousin when I was about 10, 11. Wow. He was going to save him. They were in Fort Lauderdale, and they were at the beach, and my cousin went into the water and he ended up getting stuck in a riptide. So my uncle went to save him, and they both drowned, and my cousin died on the scene, and my uncle, I believe he died on the scene. My uncle, he passed away in the hospital. So that was one. That was major.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Like, how you like when you don't think about it, and then you start talking about it, you're like, hold on, wait, that does still hurt a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, it hurt me. I can feel it in my spirit.
Right. And then when I was like, just friendships, like I feel like the people that I'm like the most close to or become close to, they like either they like move away or just something happens where we separate. But then a couple of years ago, I met this woman. Her name was Carlene. It literally, I probably knew her maybe not even 2 years, but the person that she was, it was like unreal. Like, I was growing my career, and a lot of the snakes were being exposed. A lot of the people that
talk about it
for your success were like the most salty about it. And so I never felt that I could be vulnerable. Like when I was struggling at work, or if I was frustrated at work, I had to always be on. You know what I mean? I always had to make it seem like everything was perfect and there's no issue, because any moment they could find for weakness, they would use it and rip it to shreds. You see what I'm saying? So I could she was literally rooting for me. You know what I mean? And so she passed away unexpectedly, like 2 years ago. I actually
so that's fresh. That's pretty.
Yeah, wow. I put a part of my dedication for this book to her, because she was that impact. Like it was unreal. Like it was just unreal, because I've never had that experience. I'm not saying never, but for someone that I've had people that are higher than me that worked with me, and like Dadrick that I mentioned earlier, but he's in a higher position than me. She was coming up
side
and
by side.
Yeah, like, and it just was different. So like that was like a hard hit. Like I couldn't function for like a while, honestly. And even now, like I think about her, and she's part of the driving force for me to keep pushing, because it's like she was on that path of, you know, focusing on herself and getting her life to where she wanted to be, in self-care and self-love. And then it just ended for her, you know? So I'm like, I'm gonna do it for you, girl. I got you, boo. Like I got you. But yeah, she definitely one. But yeah, like I just had like a lot. My grandma, literally 2 years ago, she was like my second mother. She raised all of us. So this was like a lot.
My grandmother raised me as well.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you have your parents, stuff like that. But she, you know what I mean? All of us, like she was like I don't know how to explain it. Like while the parents were away, we would be with her. Like, you know what I mean? So it was just like, you know, it was just great. So that was another loss, major loss as well. And, you know, you're writing a book, Letters to My Father.
Yes, absolutely. So everything that you just talked about, I've been through all of that and then some. When you speak about losing a loved one, losing someone that, you know, a friendship that fizzled out, losing, you know, my father, of course, back in 2011. I started writing this book, and this was something that was supposed to be therapy for me. It was just a way that I can go and reconnect and speak to him and maybe say the things that I wish I had a chance to say. And I knew at some point that I wanted it to be a gift, an offering to the world for those that were dealing with grief. Because as you mentioned, I never once experienced grief and that depth of grief so close to home. You know, we say these cliches, oh, let me know if you need me. I'm praying for you. They're in a better place. And then when it hits home for you, you understand the complexity of it. You understand it's a roller coaster. It's up and down. And it's still a healing process that we all are going through. And it's something we have to confront, as you spoke about on your earlier broadcast. We have to confront these things, our mental health and well-being, our self-care, whatever trauma we've dealt with, so that we can be whole, so that we can live a fulfilling and purposeful life. And we can only do that when we acknowledge the pain and hurt that we've experienced.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. You're like, whoo. Yes, literally. And that's why definitely felt like that was part of the turning my brokenness into beauty. It was recognizing, you know, the impact that these losses had on me, but also the losses that the impacts that losses have on other individuals as well. You know what I mean? Because that's part of brokenness. You see what I'm saying? That's a pain that no matter what, like you have to process it, because if not, that's another way that it comes out in a different way, you know?
Oh my God, I speak about that in the book. Yep.
Right. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's unreal. And like, you could literally be fine and be like, okay, I'm good. And then 6 months later, you're like, you know what I mean? It just hits you again. Something happens, a song is played, a moment triggers it, and you're just like super sad. So it's an ongoing process, ongoing healing process. When you lose somebody that you truly love, you know what I mean? It's unreal. And then relationally, like that's oh Lord.
Oh yes, I want to speak on that. Absolutely. I'm glad that you brought it back. I'm glad that you brought it back to that, because even speaking relationship wise, you know, in a significant other partnership, and then also friendship. So I want to speak a little bit about the friendship, because I can tell you, and I don't know, she could be listening and she might hear this broadcast later. You know, 20 plus years, a lot of my friends, we've been friends for about 20, 30 years or so. So they're like family. We've been through milestones together. We've actually lost our fathers. Both of us lost our fathers. So, you know, we've experienced loss in ways that some other people can't even relate. And I want anyone that's listening to realize that forgiveness, as we mentioned before, you know, it's like drinking poison and hoping that somebody else is going to die. They're going to get hurt. You know, it's for you. And sometimes forgiveness is reconciliation. Just having the peace of mind, knowing that, you know what, the relationship is not the way it used to be, but I still have loved this person. I still wish them well. This person, I'm still going to reach out to them on, you know, major holidays, on their birthday. I'm going to be there if they ever were to need me. But we understand that, as to the point of evolution, we all evolve and we change, and sometimes our lives go in different ways. So I think that's really important as well, just for your own personal development and growth, to understand forgiveness and reconciliation.
Right. Absolutely. And if you suffer the loss, in your life, type it in chat so we can shout you out and send you a little love and some virtual hugs, because losses are like unreal. Like they are sometimes they're completely unexpected. And when I said relationally, like it's like, you know, some relationships you got to lose it. Like, you know what I mean? It's just for your,
let it go,
for your greater good. Right. You know what I mean? So it's a loss in the moment, but in the long run, it's for your benefit ultimately. But then there's a lost love and you're like, but why? Like, you know what I mean? And you just like, you sure? Like, you know what I'm saying? And those are the ones that sit and fester a little bit that you have to really work to get over. But either way,
absolutely.
both are like traumatic, honestly. Because, you know what I mean? Like, in regards to just like relationally, it's like, if you're in a romantic relationship, not hypothetically, most of us have been in romantic relationships or in romantic relationships. It's like you're literally bonded together. Like they're a person that you
do everything together.
Exactly. And it's just like, now it stops. Like, you know what I mean? So, now I can't call you. Now I can't text you. Now, like, you know, so it's another healing growth, like healing, moving forward from process. So have you ever had that experience?
Oh my goodness. It's so funny that all of these things are emerging. And this is why we said you need to deal with your stuff, because if not, it's going to emerge. It is going to manifest itself in another area of your life. So it's almost liberating just to discuss it. It's liberating to understand that, I went through that. I overcame it. You know, I'm better because of it. You know, I'm better because of the lessons. But absolutely, I was with somebody for nearly 10 years, my entire life, my entire 20s, essentially, thinking that I was going to be with this person forever. This person was my beginning and the end. And maybe perhaps that was part of the problem. So, you know, where you just kind of lose yourself in another person. And as you said, being so connected and bonded that, you know, you're even connected by other people. So it was somewhat like a divorce, having to really just, you know, move back from everything that was, and understanding that we have the power to redefine who we're going to be and who it is that we want to become. And it actually happened around the same time that my father had passed, and then my pastor, and then my pastor's daughter. So all of this happened around the age of 30. And I don't know any women on here, please shout us out and let us know. For the women that are here, there's always something when it comes to 30. Society tells us that we should
have everything together
a certain way. Absolutely. We should have it all together. So at that point, I was experiencing loss in such a significant way that honestly, life began for me there. I had to rebirth. I had to have a rebirth. I had to reconnect. I had to discover who it is I was, put away who it was that I thought I was, and then deciding this is who I want to become. And that's what it is. I'm moving forward.
Say a lot of the people in the back. I don't think they heard
this is who I want to become. So we're going to move forward. Come on, y'all. Type in the chat forward. We're moving forward. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. Like you literally hit it right on the nose, and the fact of this is where I was, but this is who I want to be. And this is how I want to move forward, because you can literally get stuck in that time. You know what I mean? You can literally be like, damn,
absolutely.
Like, I'm still not over it. It's been like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? But it's because
it takes a long time.
Right. Exactly.
And that's another thing. That's the important part about grief and loss. Giving yourself the space to feel exactly what you're going to feel. And don't make apologies for it, because you cannot avoid it. You can't avoid it, because it's going to come up at some point. It's going to come back around. So it's best that you confront it. And that's what I really talk about, essentially, in Letters to My Father. 7 steps to healing from a loss of a parent.
Yes, like literally, like oh my gosh, like you're like hitting it right on the nose. And it's like a process, because you have the denial where you're like, this is not real. This is it's not really over. And even in dealing with death, sometimes like for me, sometimes it takes me a little while to process things when I lose somebody that is dear to me, that from a death. So like, for instance, I had a co-worker who, oh my gosh, she was like we all loved her. This was years ago, probably like 2013-ish. She actually was the daughter of the owner of the restaurant that we had in our hotel.
Wow.
And she came to work faithfully. It didn't matter if she was partying. Say she started at 7 and she was partying. She was walking into that door. And that one morning, we're all like, where's Diana? Like, what? Like,
Oh
what? Like,
no.
right.
Oh
And so she
no.
literally like did not show up. And then it came out like probably that afternoon
Wow.
that she had passed. And like
Wow.
it didn't hit me. Like her brother came and told me and all, but I was just like,
Wow.
no. And it wasn't until like
Mm.
probably like 2, 3 in the morning, I woke up out of my sleep and I was in the bathroom because that's when it hit me. Cause I'm just like,
Yep.
no, she's gonna come through the door. It's like, what are you talking about? They
Yes. Yes.
always playing, she's fine. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you kind of go into the denial piece quick, like, no, it can't
Yeah.
be true. Like, even when you
Because
see
there's stages. Because there's stages.
right,
And that's
exactly.
okay. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
When you see a celebrity and they're like, the news comes up like, oh, this person passes. You immediately like become Google scientist, researcher, FBI agent. You start searching like, is it true? No way. Is it true? No way.
I
And then
couldn't
you know what I
believe
mean?
it. Yep.
Right. So it's like it's like you said, it's a process, and it's the denial, then it's the anger, and then it's like, you know what I mean? And then it's like just moving forward and the acceptance of what it is and grieving. And it's just
Oh
like
my
a
gosh, you're saying all these words. Yes. Put it out there.
it's like
Yes.
it's all of those things tied together. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead.
Oh my God. No, I'm just saying you are literally speaking to everything that's in the book. Yes. Shout out to Lisa. But yes, you're speaking to everything in the book: denial, acceptance, the anger, the rage, the triggers. My goodness, you are speaking about everything that we need to know. These are the tools because there's power in knowing what it is that you're going to experience and allowing yourself to just go ahead and experience it. I
Right.
know when we were doing our homegoing service for my father,
Mhm.
I was manic. When people came to the house, they didn't even know what to do with me. I was
Mhm.
on 1,000. I was just so happy. You know, it's a celebration. We're talking about my father and all these things. And then the next morning happened. And then I
Mhm.
woke up and my body, like everything just
Mhm.
felt
Different.
weird and
Yeah.
different and
Mhm.
heavy. And oh my goodness, it was just like no other feeling. There was no other feeling. And even going back to work, being around people, and I'm an extrovert, as we know, we both extroverts. We both love
Sometimes
people,
so
right?
far, sometimes so far.
Right. And we're talkative. But when I tell you, I had a hard time even going back to be around crowds and to
Mhm.
communicate. And those that were around me and those that were friends of mine, they had to kind of be reintroduced to who it is that I was,
Yeah.
because you're forever changed. You're
Yeah.
forever changed.
Yeah.
And you just have to be okay with that and understanding that,
Mhm.
this person's not coming back, but you still have to give yourself permission to keep living.
Absolutely. Like literally, because then you start feeling guilty. Like so like when you are going through certain things in life, and I talk about that in the book, like you go through certain things in life and you start feeling guilty, like why do I feel depressed? Why am I making this minuscule problem a big deal when this person doesn't even have the option to walk on the earth anymore? Like, you know what I mean? So you start to kind of
Yeah.
not necessarily devalue what you're experiencing outside of the grieving of the loss, but just in life. You know how life happens and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, the Wi-Fi's out. And you're like stressed, like whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Or like when you're like, say you're like you have your job or like your company that you're building and things are just not going the way that you want to, and you're having meltdowns or panic, all these different things. And
Yeah.
you kind of like, dang, like you start feeling bad, like, how can I feel this way? And this person doesn't have the option to even see their kids or to have the option to go to work or to, like, you know what I'm saying? They've lost everything essentially. So you kind of like go back and forth with those kind of feelings. And it's like, so it's like a double whammy a little
It's
bit.
okay. And it's okay.
Yeah,
And like I
absolutely.
said, you are literally pulling pages out of my book,
Mhm.
when you speak about the guilt. And just understanding that, listen, you want to honor their life. I want to honor the things that my dad wanted to do that he didn't have a chance to do.
Mhm.
Myself and my brother included. We go so hard because we understand that was untapped potential. He was 57 when we
Mhm.
lost him. So
Right.
that's very young. Relatively
Mhm.
speaking, that's very young, especially for a man. And when you think that someone that had so many dreams and so many hopes, that we really have to give ourselves space to just, it's okay. I'm going to live today. And I'm
Mhm.
not forgetting. I'm still going to remember, but I'm still going to show up in my life. And that's the thing, and being present in what it is that I want to do and who it is that I want to become. And it's okay. You can remember and be present at the same time. You
Absolutely.
can you can grieve and have gratitude at the same time, and celebrate where you are and celebrate how far you've come. And it's the duality of grief. It's the duality of loss and just and this healing process. And it's okay, because depending on whatever stage you're in, you just have to go through it. You can't go around, you can't go under it, you can't go above it. You have to go through pain. That's the only way to get to the other side.
Absolutely. And that's why I felt that it was super important to include it in the journey of transformation, in turning your brokenness into beauty, because it's a major piece. And a lot of times we suppress what we feel in regards to having a loss. And whether, again, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be a family member, but a loss is a loss. You know what I mean? And
yes.
Granted, a romantic relationship, if they didn't pass away, it's different. Sometimes for some, it may feel worse, honestly, because the person is still here. And
it's like a divorce. Ask people that have been divorced. They feel like it's death. It's the death of themselves. It's the death of their ideal. It's the death of their family. Absolutely. Yes, you can't even measure it up against someone else's loss.
Exactly. And then some people, like, which I didn't even realize, in me leaving the job, that felt like a loss. Like, I had to go through the phases. I was there for like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And I gave... oh my gosh. When I say everything, I mean like everything. So I had to go through those phases, because I was like, I'm good, like whatever. But then, like, you kind of realize the tumultuality of the job, because you go, okay, I'm ready to go, I'm not ready to go, blah blah. But I had to go through that, because that's technically a loss too. I mean, I don't mean a good loss, but because
absolutely. But validate your feelings.
Right. That's best for you, because like sometimes the loss is a win. Sometimes, just say it like it is, because
come on, somebody.
Some humans, demons. Okay, like some humans, Lord, holy oil. Like some friendships, some romantic relationships, some business, some jobs, some...
You just have to let it go.
It's not a loss, it's a win, because they were...
Let it go.
Listen, I don't know if you hear me in the chat, but if you agree, some losses are a win, period. Because some
absolutely
are off their rockers, and your mental, emotional, physical, financial, spiritual space is way more important than anybody else's. Like, we need to understand that. So some losses are a win. So we can talk about that a little bit, in the sense of, like, if they're not good for you, whether it's job, whether it's romantic, whether it's friendship, whether it's whatever it is, if it's not good for you, for your mental space, for your financial space, for your emotional, spirit, any area of your life.
Yeah.
As hard it is as it is.
Oh my God, I have two things to say about that.
Yeah, like you have to let it go. Like, you have to let it go, because I said earlier, it could be blocking your blessings. Yes, exactly.
Oh yes, the blessings.
Like, listen.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to let them go. You can love them to but sometimes they don't have their best interest at heart. Sometimes they are the devil in disguise. Sometimes they are envious of you and low-key trying to bring you down.
Sabotage. I can tell you, I have one thing to say about that, because this is something I had to actually have a conversation with myself about that, because there's my area of opportunity and growth, letting things go. Because, and not everybody's like this. You realize that not everybody has your heart, where you're tossing and turning up at night, like, oh my goodness, you're crying, you're upset, you're devastated, because you have to not be this person's friend anymore, or you have to let them go, and you guys want to do something in business and you can't, and you realize that not everybody's like you. But I had to tell myself that no longer will I allow people to take space in my life and bring no value. That's number one. Number two. All
right, can you hit a note for that? Can you hit that?
Listen. You are not going to take space in my life and bring no value. And I had to learn that in relationships with a man, that, wait a minute, I'm bringing all this to the table. I'm pouring it in. I'm pouring it up. I'm filling your cup. And then I look at mine. I'm like, I don't have anything left.
Empty.
I don't have anything left. And another thing that I learned from Iyanla Vanzant, shout out to Iyanla Vanzant, that when you have, first of all, say what it is that you want. You need to say what it is that you want, say what it is that you need, and own it. And then you realize, this person, this thing, this area of my life, it's no longer serving me. If you're not filling my cup as I'm filling yours and we're not pouring into each other, it's no longer serving me. And you just have to say, it's okay. All is well. I wish you the best. Godspeed.
literally, because oh my gosh, and that kind of ties to like patterns, because it becomes a pattern where we have people that aren't good for us in our lives. You know what I'm saying? And we have to break that pattern. We have to release these people. And sometimes it's our energy. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's the energy that we have, it's self-value, it's the self-worth, all that other good stuff, where we accept less than we deserve, and we allow less than we deserve, or we're taking advantage of because, like you said, we have a good heart and we want what's best for everybody. But like you said, not everybody's the same way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's so true in the sense that we have to make the decision to break the cycle, to break the pattern, so that we no longer have this thing, whether it's a person, it could be a thing, I don't know. But this person bringing us down, you know what I mean? Drying our cup out. Like, Lord, my cup was like, I think I had to like
and their cup is running over. Their cup is running over. Pressed down, shaking together, and running over while you are empty. You are below the E, actually. You know, when the gas tank is below the E, that's where you are.
You don't have the filter anymore. The handle's gone. Like, you know, like the cup is just, your cup is like, it's like, and then you're left to rebuild your cup. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Pick up the pieces. Can I tell you? And you know, I've had this conversation with a lot of my female friends, and shout out to all my female friends. I love them. When I tell you the sisterhood is real, because we all need each other to lean on each other. But when we find out, oh, wow, I thought I was alone in this. But then you realize your girlfriend's going through that. Or you realize that, oh, she can empower you. She can encourage you. It's so important. It's so important. I mean, I just love that we can get together and talk about it and be real and transparent about where we are. Absolutely. And the accountability sometimes, like you say, it is the energy that you're giving out. And then it's also saying, oh, you know what? I no longer am going to accept that, because you know what? That's what was acceptable earlier. This is what you said in your earlier broadcast. So everybody tune into that and catch the replay. Okay. But yes, you know, you realize, oh, well, no, maybe that was acceptable a year ago, but not now, not for where it is I'm going, not for who it is I'm becoming. And it's okay. And you have to be okay with that.
Absolutely. You have to be, because let me tell you something. Everybody else will be super comfortable keeping the things just the way that they are. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to have the strength enough and the power enough to say enough is enough. And I'm setting these boundaries and I'm sticking to it. And if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes in some relationships, I'll say this and be nice. You need to compromise, right? But like you said, if we're pouring our cups into each other's evenly, then yes, I will be willing to compromise. But if you just taking my cup, I don't even know what a cup is.
He stole your cup. Oh my
God! Like, you stole a cup, like, you know, like, it's like, no. Give my cup back. I don't care if it's in pieces. Give me my cup. It's still my cup. Like, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Right on the nose. And it's super true. And that's why I felt it was super important to include that conversation piece in the book. And I literally talk about experiences to the T, because I want people to know, like, I'm not just making it up. I'm not just talking about it because it sounds good. I'm like, literally.
You live through it. Yes.
Exactly. And different experiences. And then it also kind of, it kind of creates a protective barrier with you as well. It changes who you are. Like you said, it can be life altering. And so we kind of have to go back and ensure that we are working on ourselves and going back to the self-awareness, like you said in the replay and what I said earlier, having self-awareness of where you are and understand that it's okay to be where you are. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be sad. It's okay. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. What's not okay is when it's like 6 months down the line and you haven't really sat down and dealt with it. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can't do it alone. And for a long time, I used to be like, I'm good. I can take care of it. Then it gets to the point where no, I can't do it by myself.
Yeah, you realize.
And so it takes us to know, hey, I don't like how I feel. I really don't want to feel like this anymore. What can I do to be better, get better, so that I can move on and not forget the people that you've lost, essentially, the good ones. You know, the good ones, but at the same time, moving forward with your life, because your life can't end. Like, you're still here and you still have a life to live, and you still have the opportunity to be who it is that you want to be in this world. So it's super important for us to self-reflect, have self-awareness, do self-love, self-care, take care of yourself. Like, love on yourself, because how you love on yourself is how everybody else will love on you. So make sure that you hold yourself up to the highest standard. I'm not saying be bougie. I mean, you know, you could be bougie. I don't mind being bougie. You know, holding yourself up to the highest standard as possible, because how you literally teach people how to treat you. And so you want to make sure that you're teaching them to treat you in the right way. So creating healthy boundaries, taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, all of that good stuff. And that's literally what I did. And that's what I talked about in Warriors Paradigm, because I wanted people to understand that there are so many different things that we experience in life, and it can knock us down. And sometimes it can kick you while you're down. But at the same time, it's like, oh, you still have the opportunity to get back up again. You still have the opportunity to make a change. You still have the opportunity to be who you want to be in this world, no matter what. Like, you know what I mean? There are some people that like literally have nothing, and they are still trying to push and find what they can do next to get to where they want to be. So,
and that's where faith comes in. That's where faith comes in, because like you said, you know, it's not even just about, because some people are probably asking, they're probably like, what is self-love? Well, how do I know? And how do I take care of myself? And you affirming what it is that you want to be. Who is it that you want to be? Where is it that you want to be? Even though you can't see it, you need to say it. You need to speak life to that and declare and decree it in your life, so that, okay, when it shows up, you're going to be creating that in your space. Because I found that even like you said, the sabotage, not understanding that you built this shell right around you. You now can't love, you can't receive love, because that's what happened to me after, you know, I suffered from all these losses, and I'm sure it's happened to you. That now I have to realize, wait a minute, well, this is not what I want. Now it's almost like it's this vicious cycle that you're creating this space of brokenness. You're basically attracting more brokenness, because they say you either attract what you are, or you attract who it is that you want to become. And so something about my brokenness was attracting more brokenness. And then I had this cycle, because I didn't get out the cycle, and maybe I wasn't aware enough to say, okay, wait, this is not what I want. Let me speak to what it is that I want. This is why it's important to do affirmations. Just this morning, writing them down, speaking them with your mouth, the power of the tongue, so that you can affirm. There's so many things I had on my vision board, so many things that I affirmed for my life that are just now coming to fruition. And it may not come tomorrow or next month or next year, but it's coming.
Listen,
it's coming.
Okay, so to go when you said vision board, literally, I did a vision board Thanksgiving 2017, literally, and I put Max Evolve, because I couldn't fit Maximum Evolution on my vision board, right? And Max Evolve literally became my website, like literally.
Wow.
Evolution was taken, but that's
it's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? So like you said, the vision board, seeing, believing that it's yours and that it's possible, like literally will make things happen. And in regards to self-love, it comes from like you, like understanding your value, understanding that you are worthy of what you want and what you desire in life. You know what I mean? Like self-love is taking the time to have self-care, like, and it's being selfish and selfless at the same time, meaning creating boundaries. That is self-love is creating boundaries. Like you're something that is not healthy for you, something that you do not like, something that is unacceptable for you, and creating a boundary saying, I don't like this, I'm not going to accept it. That is self-love. That is because you love yourself enough to say, I don't want to be around that. I don't want to. You see what I'm saying? That is
my peace.
And for a long time, I didn't have self-love. I accepted so many things. That I look back.
Listen. I'm looking at some guys. How did I give you the time of day, honey? And another chance. How in the world? I'm like,
if I knew what I knew now, it would have been different. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad we got through it.
Exactly. But exactly. If you didn't go through what you went through, you wouldn't be where you are today, or have the vision or the idea of what you want or your goals. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be bossed up the way I am. You know what I mean? If I didn't go through the things that I went through over the past 10, 15, 20 years. You know what I mean? So sometimes the things that we experience are literally shaping us for who we are destined to be, or putting us on the right path. And it might feel miserable.
Yes.
Oh Lord, it might feel miserable. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Some like it's literally it pushes you like, okay, you were going right. You're supposed to go strong left. So we got to get you back onto the left.
A strong left.
Strong left.
Come on, somebody say strong left.
Strong left. You know, so literally, and that's why, like, literally, that's why this is why I wrote this book. Like, it was like there are so many things and so many people that I've spoken to that along the years of my life that have gone through so many things, and it literally dictates who they are and how they see themselves and what they feel their capacity is. You know what I mean? And I'm very passionate about that. Like, I'm very passionate about.
You're just passionate, period.
No, you know, I really am. Like it. There are so many like groups that I'm in. Hey, welcome back. There are so many women so many groups that I see. And I see women talking about like self-love, or I see women talking about like being in an abusive relationship and how they feel. And it literally, it triggers me in the sense of like, I want to help them and save them and show them that it's not the world. Because when you're in it, it feels like
you can't even see it.
Right. You know what I mean? So if me sharing my story shows like there's so much more to life than what you're experiencing in this moment, then it'll be worth everything that I've gone through. You know what I mean? And then
absolutely.
That's why baby. Like,
yes, you gotta go out and empower somebody. Yes, because we are all warriors. We are all warriors. We just haven't tapped into it. And for me, it was with my first book, Breakthrough, where I spoke about unlocking your greatness. Yes. We are all great. We are all worthy simply because we were born. Maya Angelou and Oprah Winfrey said that. So we are all worthy because we were born. And as soon as we tap into that and we walk into it and we understand it and own it, oh my goodness. Like, yes. And you're a warrior because you went through that, and now you learn. Now you know the lessons. Now you know the tools. Now you can pay it forward. You can reach back and help a sister out. Exactly. And then also another thing, and I understand this when you're dealing with abuse, because for me it wasn't physical, but it was verbal, it was emotional, it was the diminishing of myself and not really having an identity and having a space to like think, wait, well, should I say that or should I do that, and will you like it? And that too is mind control, and that's not healthy either. And understanding that this is what's happening, and realizing, no, I got to change my mindset. I got to change my mind frame. And yes. And I want better, but I also realize you cannot see the picture when you're inside the frame.
Yeah.
You cannot see the picture when you're inside the frame.
Listen, y'all hear me quotes all day. Like,
listen, I got chills when I said it. Woo, child. Because I'm telling you, when I was in it, the conversations I've had with my friends, in fact, the book that we're doing, the Pattern Anthology. Shout out to the Pattern Anthology, your other project.
Yes. Busy over here. Okay, we get things done. Anyway, go ahead.
I had a candid conversation with one of my best girlfriends. Oh my God, it's her birthday tomorrow. Shout out to Khadijah.
Happy birthday.
Yes, all my Leo friends, Leo season, get into it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I had a candid conversation with her about that space that I was in during those years that were so hard and so rough. And I asked her, what was the perception, and what were you seeing, and what were you experiencing when you experienced me, and when I came into the room, and all of those things. And that's why I said I once was broken, because now in hindsight, I can look back to that and I'm like, oh my goodness, that's really how it was. That's how you saw me. That's how people experienced me. That's how I showed up in the world. And no wonder I was attracting that, because that was the energy that I was giving off. But now I realized, oh no, that didn't work. Now I know that there's got to be another way. There's an alternative. And so now I'm going this way. And so I just had to say that.
You literally hit it on the nose in the sense of understanding and wanting to break the pattern, because sometimes we literally go from one toxic situation to the next toxic situation because we haven't really dealt with what we have internally. And so it's super important. It's super important to do self-work, inner healing, all of that good stuff is so important. Because if it's like, okay, yeah, we left the relationship, but we haven't dealt with the baggage that we gained from that relationship, but also the baggage we had. So now instead of having a 2-piece luggage, we got about a 10-piece luggage. You know what I'm saying? So
2-piece.
Everybody that's tuning again being here with us. Let us know if you got. Let me know what kind of package.
To us.
Let me know what kind of luggage you have. Do you have a 2-piece luggage where you could get away with the carry-on or
bag lady? You a bag lady?
Luggage, like you're going away for 2 weeks. Like, what do you have? Because baggage is baggage, okay? Like, I'm about like a 3-piece luggage right now. Just
listen,
but they're small ones. So if I have 3 people, I can do all of them on carry-on. Shout out to my kids because they, you know what I'm saying? They get my luggage free. You know,
that's so cute.
But no, like for real, it becomes baggage that we carry and we wear it, and it comes out in how we communicate. It comes out in how we act. It comes out in how we're like nasty sometimes. Lord, like when I'm annoyed, I'll be like, give me 10 minutes.
But see, to that own self be true. You got to know yourself. You said it earlier in the earlier broadcast. Triggers. You got to know. Ooh.
Give me 10 minutes.
No, that doesn't feel right. Okay, you know what? I can't speak to you in this space because I know that it's not going to be good. And we're going to have a relationship after this. I'm going to start using that. Okay, by the way, anybody listening, 72 hours.
Okay, so kids, they don't care what you're going through. If they want cereal, if they want soup, whatever they want it now. You know what I'm saying? So kids, I'd be like, all right, give me 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes my daughter still don't care. I'm in the bathroom thinking like, so can I get the cereal now? I would literally be doing a podcast interview. Literally, I'm like, Taylor, shoe come knock on the door like,
she's so cute too.
Hey, give me like, so they kind of understand. But you have to literally, and you have to communicate because say like I'm frustrated and I take my frustration out on them, then they're going to think that's the way that you respond to being frustrated or, you know what I'm saying, with anger or, you know what I mean? Or it could cause them to shut down. So when they're in those kind of they shut down and it's like, so now you can't get them out of it because they're like in fear, So I'm where I tell them
that's
like,
amazing.
Look, mommy's a little frustrated right now. She needs about 10, 15 minutes. I'll like, let me watch an episode of something real quick and kind of gather my thoughts. Or I like literally, if somebody's here, I clearly have to have somebody here with them, but I'll leave because I have a waterfront. So I'll sit by the water.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, okay, I'm not Rihanna. Like, I don't have water like right there.
Okay. I just can't. Oh my God. All the fabulousness.
I can't stop. So I like to sit by the water because it's soothing and it gives me like light. It allows me to just like digress and like just relax and be calm because with everything going on, it's just like nonstop. It's always something. Somebody needs something. Somebody wants something. Especially with this lovely C word that I don't want to say. It's not Chanel because I'm always say Chanel, but you know what's happening in the world right now.
Yeah.
Just compacted with the kids and it's just like, you know what I mean? So sometimes back to the self-care, back to your boundaries, understanding where you are.
Yes.
Exactly. Like, ooh, it's not gonna be good. Give me like 15 minutes. Like, just give me like, you know
what I'm saying?
Awesome.
That's
and then
awesome for them to
understand what happened.
Oh my God, I've talked too much with my hands. Okay, so we cannot do this. All right, next time I know. I'm so sorry for you guys. I'm just too this. I'm too much of this. Okay. But honestly, that is so awesome. I just wanted to give my hats off to you as a parent, as a mother. I mean, who's running multiple businesses, who's conquering the world. I just like, can we just give it up for Chanel right now? And all of, like you said earlier, building the self-esteem of your kids is so important to know your kid and to understand they're all very different. And you might have to discipline them different. You might have to speak to them different. And sometimes the way that you speak to them, like you say, it can shape them. It can shape their mood. It can alter their mood. It can break them down in their spirit. And my God, what you said was so profound that you're like, oh, let me just take a minute because I don't want to respond to them that way. And that is just so beautiful. So shout out to all the mothers out here. All the mothers that are conquering the world, doing it all, and still showing up for their kids in such an amazing way. So,
I appreciate you. Yes, Danielle, you said know your worth. Well, no, be sorry because I know that some people that have their little names, I know their real names, so I say it. So sorry. And, girl, I had about 4 bags, but I'm down to only a carry-on. Yes.
Oh, yes. Shout out to carry on. That's right.
Okay.
We ain't paying extra. We ain't paying extra for them bags. You hear me? Listen. I don't even know if I'm gonna fly again. I don't even know, honey. Flying right now. Woo, child.
And then she said, I'm a little slow, but I downloaded the book. Yay! She downloaded the book from Amazon.
Yay!
Make sure you leave a review. I appreciate appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to read it. I did mine last night.
Oh, yes.
I can't wait to
read like virtual high five. Yes, without no mission. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. Lisa, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is great. Yeah, my puppy's starting to make noise. I apologize if you hear him. He's like, girl, like, all right. But yeah, I'm super excited. I thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you.
Today. I love your transparency. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you.
And I'm super excited for what you have coming to.
Yes.
Your father, like, you're amazing performer. You know, I would be a little extra, but I'm gonna let you live. I'm like, oh, he's singing, but we're not gonna do that.
Yes, Letters to My Father, the pattern anthology that we have coming up.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
Our truth. We go.
That's exclusive, baby. That's classified. Oh, that's classified. We can't even tell you. But yes, Letters to My Father. Get that right now. It's pre-order right now. And the pattern anthology, the evolution effect, that's on pre-order. And of course, shout out to Warriors Paradigm. You are all warriors. You are all warriors. And that cover and trailer.
Listen, let's hit the folks with it. You know, you remember how Kevin Hart was like, throw the fire on them.
Yes.
Yes. Every time I see it, it makes me so happy.
Seen it before, and it's crazy because every single time I'm like, oh my god,
yes. Listen, I get excited that video.
It's like, oh, I'm excited, the intrigue, I'm on the edge of my seat, like, oh my goodness, this is juicy. I'm like, oh, this is a movie, this is a stage production. Like, are you kidding me? Listen, let me know when you want to make it a stage production, honey, because that's my thing. Okay. Musical theater, listen, we can even make it into, we can have some music in it. Listen, that's powerful. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the person that did the trailer. Yes, that's beautiful. It is so beautiful. Congratulations, Chanel, and everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I don't know if we said it already, but tell the audience how they can connect with you.
Yes, so please connect with me on Instagram and Facebook. I am at Vernae Taylor. That's V like Victorious, ERNAE TAYLOR, and also at Breakthrough the Book on both Instagram and Facebook. That is the first book that I was featured in with Johnny Wimbrey, Les Brown, Nick Halleck, and a lot of beautiful authors across the country. Yeah. So I am so excited, even now in the space of Letters to My Father, the Evolution Effect, and then some other stuff that we have coming up that you guys can't know yet. Yes, but please DM me, tell me, give me some feedback on how you enjoyed the podcast today, and stay connected. Like me, comment, repost. Okay. All of that to help a sister out.
Do you see what I brought her on? Do you see her energy? Like, how can I not? Like, I just love it.
I love you because I remember your energy when we met at the what was it? The mastermind.
Oh, yeah.
I already felt your energy. I already knew. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna know her. It resonated with me. I'm like, ooh, that's my energy. Yeah, I dig her. And I don't even know how we ended up back here. Yeah, how did we reconnect?
It just literally just like happens. Like
it was so organic.
Like, how did I connect with this person? Or how did I just it just happened? So
my God, it was amazing.
Yeah. That's a good thing because it's so important to have the right people in your corner around you. And when you're on this entrepreneur journey, when you're on this author journey, a lot of people don't understand what you're going through. So like I literally messaged her the other day and I was like, girl, she was like, no, it's all right. it helps
Yeah.
because you understand, whereas sometimes you're around people and they don't get it. So it's great to
Yeah.
surround yourself with like-minded people, but also people that are
Yes.
10 steps ahead of you too, because then it helps
Yeah.
to push you forward so you can learn and grow. So I appreciate you
Yes, I
for
appreciate you.
being a part
Thank
of my
you.
virtual launch. And if you have not, if you have not downloaded your complimentary copy of Warriors Paradigm, you need to go do that right now and go to www.readytotransformnow.com. And let me show you something. I don't care. I'm annoyed. I don't care, so I'm gonna show it. So this was a lovely banner that I created. And
Aww.
look at this. And all these things, like, you know, I like to be extra and go hard. And like,
Aww.
I'm gonna be like, so, you know,
It's okay. Warriors Paradigm. It's beautiful. It's beautiful though. It's still beautiful. It's still
so
beautiful.
again, thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you.
If you have not liked, commented, or shared, please do so. And if you're on the replay, thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. We love you. And you have 30 seconds to leave your comments and I can give you a shout out. And until then, see you next time at 5:30. We have a virtual panel. So excited about it. 4 amazing women. Bye, beautiful people. I'll see you at 5:30 on the dot, or maybe 5:35. But you know what I'm saying. We'll see you at 5:30. Thank you, Vernae.